a wave of EV owners are slamming into reality, abandoning their electric dreams before the trend could gain traction. Yes, EV rebellion is starting. Shocking, right? So what exactly is causing this? Why are EV owners wanting their good old gas guzzlers back? You see, it's becoming pretty much obvious why these new EV owners are making their way back to gas-powered cars. After about 3 years of cruising their futuristic electric rides, reality hits hard. The batteries in these EVs start wearing out, and as drivers rack up more miles, unexpected problems rear their ugly heads. And let us tell you, it's not just a minor hiccup, it's like hitting a pothole the size of a crater. People aren't just scratching their heads for fixes, they're straight up saying bye and trading them in for hybrids. The entire EV community is shaken by this sudden change. But why the switch? It's not just about riding the trend of cool new tech, it's about the practical stuff and safety concerns that crop up with these EVs. Alright, let's take the case of Mr. X for instance. Now the name might not be very convincing. Trust us, the mess that he gets to can really convince you. Now, Mr. X gets into a minor fender bender with his EV and you'd think, no trouble, right? Wrong. The repair process is seriously slow, taking over 2 months and leaving poor Mr. X with a jaw-dropping repair bill of $22,000. And that's just the starting, guys. Repair shops are scratching their heads too, because let's face it, EVs are like alien tech to them. So it's obvious that they'll need more time and end up slamming on hefty bills and jacking up insurance premiums. Let's see what goes down in another scenario. EVs range in cold weather. Alright, imagine Mr. X rushing to the hospital with a baby in the backseat, and bam, his EV's range takes a dive by over 30% in just 5 minutes of driving. And get this, it's not just a one-time thing, similar stories are unfolding daily, shining a spotlight on how vulnerable EVs are to Earth's mood swings. We're talking about harsh weather conditions wreaking havoc on their performance, leaving EV owners scratching their heads in frustration. It's like, sure, EVs come with a bunch of perks, but when real life throws you a curveball, it's a whole different ballgame. These real-life incidents paint a vivid picture of the trials and tribulations EV owners face daily. So, if you're eyeing that shiny new EV, take note of these high repair costs and unexpectedly short ranges. A recent study by S&P Global dropped, and it states that over half of the folks who own electric cars are eyeing a return to good old gas vehicles for their next ride. That's right, more than 50% of them. And get this, it's not just because of the weather or emergencies. Even when you crunch the numbers, it's mind-boggling. If a household rocks an electric ride, there's only a 50-50 shot they'll stick with it for round 2. 3 out of 5 non-Tesla electric car owners want out of the EV game altogether. Car companies are pouring cash into making these sleek electric rides, hoping folks will keep hopping on their eco-friendly machine. It's a head-scratcher for sure and sheds light on the real concerns and doubts people have, especially when facing off against harsh weather or unexpected emergencies. Even luxury giants like Porsche are seeing less than 37% of their EV owners considering another electric car, with BMW's numbers taking a dive from 46.6% just 3 years ago. Meanwhile, according to the experts at Consumer Reports, EVs are grappling with a whopping 80% more issues compared to their gas-powered counterparts. We're talking about problems with the charging system and battery, and even struggles with the fit and finish of the body panels and interior parts. The companies are still trying to iron out the kinks in these shiny new rides. And while they're on that journey, consumers are feeling the squeeze. They're fretting over reliability, sweating over higher costs, and over the scarcity of charging stations. Oh, and let's not forget the common question: how long does it take to charge these things up? Plug-in hybrids. Those hybrids that mix electric and gas power, they're not exactly a walk in the park either. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Traditional gas-electric hybrids, the one that have been around the block a few times, they're proving to be the golden ticket. An average guy finds more satisfaction in dropping $25,000 on a reliable hybrid than shelling out a whopping $60,000 for an EV. Now, the issues aren't just with Tesla or any other posh EV brands. Let's see what Mr. Y dealt with. So, Mr. Y splurges stacks on a shiny new 2023 Chevy Bolt electric SUV, thinking he's scoring cool points and saving big bucks on gas. But hold on for this one. On a chilly day, his car decides not to shift into drive. Cue the frustration as he plays the on and off game a dozen times before his ride finally decides to start. And wouldn't you know it, Mr. Y is not the only one dealing with these electric car issues. Hyundai's Ioniq 5 EV, it's been dealing with battery and charging issues thanks to some pesky computer glitches. And then there's Rivian, the new kid on the block in the electric vehicle scene. They're all about pushing boundaries and breaking new ground, But it seems like they've also hit a roadblock when it comes to quality control. Body panels are not aligning properly, and broken parts are lurking under the hood. It's just like trying to squash one issue only to have another one pop up. Keep all of that aside and imagine that you're dreaming of waving goodbye to gas stations forever, envisioning the convenience of charging up at home. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, maybe not, because here's the cold, hard truth. Home charging isn't that great, to be honest. Especially if you're in California, where many homes lack the setup for level 2 charging, the kind you need for that magic overnight tank fill-up. And if you're living the apartment life, good luck finding a parking spot with a charger. But wait, it gets even worse. Public charging stations, they're about as reliable as the weather forecast, with rare sightings and permanently out-of-order signs being more common than you'd think. And get this, around 4 out of 10 stations don't even work. Oh, and remember how we all thought EVs were the holy grail of energy efficiency? Think again. These cars are guzzling up more electricity at home than anyone bargained for. We're talking over double your regular electricity bill. And if you thought, hey, at least it's cheaper than gas, well, think again. To offset the hefty $20,000 to $30,000 premium you're shelling out for an EV over a hybrid, you'll need to rack up a whopping 60,000 miles before you even start seeing those savings. It's like a never-ending game of catch-up, with the finish line feeling only further and further away. Now, let's talk about the range anxiety that everyone is feeling, shall we? It's that nagging fear lurking in the back of your mind. Will your EV run out of juice before you reach your destination? And then there's the elephant in the room. The GMC EV Hummer is a monster on wheels, tipping the scales at a whopping 9,000 pounds. That's like stacking 3 Honda Civics on top of each other on a scale. So, why the heft? Blame it on the batteries. To power EVs for longer stretches, you need some serious battery power. And batteries, guy, those are pretty heavy. But why should we care about all this weight? Well, besides throwing off your driving dynamics, there's a study that found getting hit by a car 1,000 pounds heavier than yours increases your chances of not making it out alive by a staggering 47%. With these heavyweight EVs on the roads, the danger becomes even more pronounced, especially for those cruising around in smaller, lighter vehicles. It's like a do-or-die situation every time you hit the road. So, there you have it, guys. As we navigate through the dying trend of EVs, we go from range anxiety to hefty premiums and heavyweight contenders on the road. Trust us, there is a lot to consider while planning to get an EV, but hey, we want to hear from you. Do you think EVs are more expensive to maintain, or the best question to ask is, do you own one? And if you do, are you planning to switch to your old gasoline-fed car? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and hey, don't forget to check out our latest video for the latest updates from the industry, so you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest updates. Until next time, see ya!